I have a baby girl named Hanny who is 1 year old. My mom said she would help with the baby so I could go to work. I was so happy and trusted my mom. She promised to help when I got married 5 years ago. Back then, my husband and I didn't have a home. We lived in a rented room and dreamed of owning our own house, but homes were too expensive. We made a plan, save money for a small home first, and later, we could sell it and buy a bigger one. My mom didn't like this plan. She said, "Don't waste time, buy a big home now." But we couldn't afford that, so we stuck to our plan. We didn't have enough money for a large home. 2 years ago, I found out I was pregnant. I told my husband, and he smiled and hugged me. We had saved enough for a small home, but Mom insisted on us buying a bigger one. She said she would help with some money, and that my husband's parents would also pitch in. We could pay a little each month. Mom also said she would take care of the baby so I could keep working. It all sounded perfect, so we bought a big home. It was a happy time. I was 9 months pregnant, and my husband worked hard painting Hanny's room. After Hanny was born, I stayed home for 3 months, and then Mom took over. She stayed with Hanny while I went back to work. We were so grateful. I said, "Thank you, Mom," and my husband also said, "Your mom is amazing." We kept up with the payments for the house and our plan. My husband and I worked while Mom stayed home with Hanny. Everything was going well until one day, Mom looked at me and said, "I'm tired. I can't take care of Hanny anymore." I was shocked. "But Mom," I said, "you promised to help." She replied, "I have my own life now, I want to rest. I have a right to my own happiness." I felt sad, and my husband was worried. "What will we do now?" he asked. "Hanny is only 1 year old. She can't go to school yet, but we still have to pay for the house. I can't stop working, and my husband can't either. Can you find a new job with more money?" Mom asked my husband. I was angry. "Mom, that's not fair," I said. "You promised to help." But she didn't listen. She said, "I also have my life. I want to be happy now." My husband and I felt very tired. I was at home with Hanny and I couldn't work. I needed help. My husband worked all day and came home late. We ate dinner, played with Hanny and went to bed. Every day was the same. I called my mom sometimes, asking for help. "Please, Mom," I said, but she always replied, "I'm busy." I felt hurt. Why had she promised to help but now wasn't there when I needed her? Mom seemed happy now. She had new friends, went to the park, and attended parties. Meanwhile, I was tired, taking care of Hanny alone. I didn't sleep much or rest. My husband worked hard. I was angry at Mom. She promised to help, but now she was living her life. Mom and I were both angry at each other. She said, "I want to be happy. You don't understand me." I looked at Hanny who was smiling and playing with her toys. She didn't know about our problems. I told myself, Hanny is my daughter. She is my job. But I was still angry. Every day felt hard. I woke up early because Hanny cried. I fed her, changed her, and played with her. My husband left for work early, and I took care of everything. At noon, I tried to cook lunch, holding Hanny with one arm while I cooked with the other. It wasn't easy. By 3 p.m., I was exhausted, sitting on the floor with Hanny. She laughed, but I closed my eyes for just 1 minute, only for 1 minute. But Hanny pulled my hair, waking me up. I smiled at her. At 8 p.m., my husband came home, looking tired. "How was your day?" I asked. "Work was hard," he said. He looked at Hanny and smiled. "But I missed her," he added. He took Hanny and played with her while I cooked dinner. We ate together, but we were too tired to talk. The next day, my mom called. "How are you?" she asked. I wanted to tell her how tired I was, but I didn't. "I'm fine," I said. She told me about her day at the park with her friends, and I felt angry. "You have time for the park, but you don't have time for me," I thought, but I said nothing. I called my friend Anna, who also had a little boy. "I don't know what to do," I told Anna. She listened and then said, "It's not easy, but you are strong. You will find a way." I felt a little better. "Thank you, Anna," I said. Anna suggested I ask my husband's parents for help. I thought about it and decided to visit them on Sunday. They were kind and loved Hanny very much. After lunch, I told them we needed help because my mom couldn't take care of Hanny anymore. My husband's father said, "We can help on weekends, but we're old and get tired too." I smiled and thanked them. Even a little help was a blessing. That night, my husband and I talked. "What can we do?" I asked. "I'll work harder and look for a better job," he said. "I'll take care of Hanny, and I'll also search for a part-time job from home." It wasn't a perfect plan, but it was better than nothing. Every day was busy. I woke up early, took care of Hanny, cooked, cleaned, and played with her. At night, when she slept, I searched for jobs online. The jobs didn't pay much, but every little bit helped. My husband worked harder too. He came home late sometimes, and I missed him, but I knew he was doing it for us. One day, Mom came to visit. She looked happy with a new dress and haircut. "How are you, dear?" she asked. I said, "I'm tired, Mom." She looked at Hanny and said, "She's growing so fast." "Yes," I replied. "It's hard, but she's a happy baby." Mom said, "I hope you're not still angry with me." I didn't know what to say. I looked at Hanny and said, "I'm doing my best, Mom." Mom sat down and said, "I know you're angry at me, but I also want to live my life." "I understand, Mom," I said, "but it's hard for me." "You promised to help." Mom looked sad. "I didn't think it would be this hard," she said. "But I love you, and I want you to be happy too." I felt tears in my eyes. "I love you too, Mom. I just need some help." She smiled and said, "I can help on some days or maybe 2 days a week." I felt so relieved. "Thank you, Mom. That will help a lot." She hugged me. My husband found a better job. He wasn't home as much, but we had more money now. Hanny grew and learned new things. She could say Mama and Dada, and she made us smile every day. Life wasn't perfect, and some days were still hard, but I felt stronger now. Mom visited us more often and played with Hanny. I felt happy when I saw them together. My husband said, "We're doing our best. That's enough." I looked at Hanny and smiled. We were a family, and I knew we would be okay. I learned something important: life is not always easy. Sometimes people